In my opinion, I agree that school should make students join physical tests like jogging or resistance training. The reason is that these activities help students stay healthy and strong. For example, doing sports can improve their fitness and reduce stress. In addition, physical training teaches students about teamwork and discipline, which are important in real life. As a result, students can focus better on their studies and feel more energetic every day. To sum up, I believe school should require students to do physical activities because it is good for both their body and mind. The reading passage talked about a new university policy that limits dormitory visit to no more than 3 consecutive nights. The male student disagreed with this policy. First, he believed that the rule is unnecessary because most students can manage their own schedules and responsibilities. He thinks that if visits do not disturb others, they should be allowed for more than 3 days. Second, he mentioned that the policy may create problems for students whose families live far away. They rarely visit, so when they do, it's unfair to limit their stay to just 3 nights. As a result, he thinks the university should trust students to handle their own guests responsibly instead of setting strict limits. The reading passage explained the concept of hilltopping, which is a behavior where male insects go to the top of a hill to find mates. The passage said this behavior helped them show genetic strength to the females. In the lecture, the professor gives example of butterfly and wasps to explain this idea. First, he mentioned that some species of butterfly go to the top of hills and wait for female butterfly to come. This helped them compete and find a partner more easily. Second, he says that wasps also do the same thing. Male wasps fly to the top of the hill and fight for the best spot because being higher means a better chance to attract females. In short, both examples of butterfly and wasps clearly showed how hilltopping helps male insects increase their mating success. The lecturer explained that business can build connection with their customer in two ways: social connection and economic connection. First, the professor says that social connections are made through direct communication between staff and customer. When staff help customer personally, customer feel more comfortable and loyal. For example, the professor tells a story about a woman who wanted to buy a supplement. She was unsure, but after talking with a helpful staff member, she felt confident and decided to buy it. Second, economic connection happen when companies give discount or coupons. This give customer a reason to come back. For instance, the professor mentioned his own experience. He chose Starbucks because he had a coupon that would expire soon. In conclusion, both social and economic connection help business attract and keep their customer. I prefer to work in relaxed environment at work. The reason is that I can think clearly and do my job better when I am calm. When I feel relaxed, I can focus more and make fewer mistakes. For example, when I studied for exams in a quiet and comfortable place, I could remember things faster and finish my work earlier. But when I was under pressure, I often felt tired and stressed, and my work was not good. In short, working in a relaxed environment helped me stay focused, happy, and productive. According to the announcement, the university plans to use special funding and add more exercise machines in the campus gym. The reason for this plan is that many students complain there are not enough machines. The university believes this will help students exercise more and live with a healthier lifestyle. In the conversation, the man disagrees with this plan. First, he says the gym is not really crowded, so he never has to wait to use the machines. Second, he thinks there are already many other ways for students to exercise, such as swimming, running paths, and sport teams. As a result, he believes that buying more machines is not necessary. In short, the man disagrees with the proposal because the gym is already fine and students already have many exercise options. From the reading, the article explained the law of diminishing returns. It says that when more labor or material are added to a fixed resource, the extra output will become smaller after some point. This means that working harder does not always make more result. In the lecture, the professor gave an example to show this idea. He talks about a farmer who adds more workers to his field. At first, the farmer production increases, but after adding too many workers, they start to get in each other's way and have less space to work. Because of this, the total production grows more slowly and finally stops increasing. In short, the example of the farmer clearly showed the law of diminishing returns because adding more workers gives us smaller and smaller results. The lecture is about two types of programming: procedural programming and object-oriented programming. First, the professor says that procedural programming focuses on step-by-step instruction. It means programmers write many procedures or functions to do specific tasks. For example, the older language like C use this kind of method to tell the computer what to do first and next. Second, the professor explained that object-oriented programming organizes code into objects that have both data and action. For instance, languages like Java or Python use this method, so programmers can reuse code easily and make programs more flexible. In short, procedural programming is based on steps and functions, while object-oriented programming is based on objects and reusability.